My name is Paul Jones and I live in Abilene, Texas. I'm supporting Debra because I am sick and tired of getting up sick and tired because the politicians tell us one thing during the campaign and do just the opposite. Debra is one of us and I believe her, I trust her. That's why I work with her.
Please join me in welcoming the next governor of the state of Texas, one of us, Debra Medina.
Thank you very much, Emily, and
My name is James Roger Fielder. I live in Briggs, Texas. I was in Alaska visiting some of my, I have family both in Alaska and in, well, all over Alaska, Seattle, Denver, and Austin area. And I got back some 3 weeks ago, and the TV was on, and this lady was giving a political talk. It lasted only 8 or 10 minutes. I think she was down in Austin giving a talk, and I thought, my goodness. I told my buddy that was with me, who in the world is that? That girl is right on. So I said, I'm going to look this up. What was her name? And he said, I don't know. So at any rate, I got to looking around and come to find out it was Debra Medina. So I went on the internet and I read some of her stuff and I said, okay, that's the one. I'm supporting her, buddy. Her policies are right on.
Restore limited government in this state, eliminate property tax, fund local government with a sales tax, restore state sovereignty, secure our border. We'll be free and prosperous in Texas, and our kids will dream again.
I'm Marianne Bednar from Abilene, Texas. I support Debra Medina. She's the first politician that I have personally met that has got me this fired up and interested again. And I believe that Debra Medina is absolutely the best choice. I have heard so many people say so many times that we just need to get rid of everybody and start all over, get rid of the career politicians and other people who seek fame and fortune, and we need to find a true conservative Texan. And I believe that Debra Medina is the answer, and so I support her fully.
We've got the highest unemployment rate today in Texas that we've had since Mark White was defeated in 1986. You want a Democrat, then you ought to vote for a Democrat. Republicans ought not be in Austin growing government.
Texas, and not only Texas, but this whole country, we're in a heck of a mess, my friend. We're broke. We're beyond broke. We're bankrupt. They continue this deficit spending. The system is broken. The good old boy system. I know people that have run and lost, run and won, and never run again because of the corruptness of the system. We need big changes. And Debra is a good start to a lot of the changes we need, like no property taxes, no way to take the protection of our guns away from us, and nullification, interposition. That's all good stuff, good stuff. That's why I'm going to support her.
No amount of military presence is going to keep you safe from one deranged individual walking into a crowded area intent on doing harm. You want to be protected? Buy a gun, learn to use it, and keep it with you.
I'm Vicki Busines. I am from Brownwood, Texas. She has clearly the best interest of the state of Texas. Very impressed with her knowledge of the Constitution, both the United States and also the Texas Constitution.
I think Rick Perry is another one of those pretty boy politicians. Go along to get along. Good old boy. He's part of the system, part of the establishment that's taken our rights and freedoms away. Gradually, gradually, gradually. And it ain't so gradual anymore.
When your governor understands the Constitution, when our governor understands the Constitution and says there is no authority for the EPA in Texas, If our farmers need regulating, then Texas will figure out how to regulate her farmers. The Texas Commission on Environmental Quality will not dance to the tune that Washington is whistling. We won't use our tax dollars to pay our agencies to do your dirty work. This is Texas, by golly, and we will take care of Texas, and the EPA will have no authority here.
Current leadership in Texas, I think my daughter and my son have the right to determine what vaccinations that my grandchildren get.
When you have government in Austin that thinks it's the parent of Texas, have you noticed we have leadership that believes it's our parent? Injects itself constantly in that most sacred of all relationships between parent and child, because you don't know when you ought to immunize your 11-year-old daughter and what you ought to be injecting into her. I've got to tell you that we had a governor that did that. 2 weeks ago, he decided you weren't, as parents, intelligent enough to decide when your child should or shouldn't get a driver's license, and he was going to set some new guidelines there for you. Parents are the guardian, protector, and decider for their children, not Austin, Texas.
Glenn Beck, that meathead trashed her.
Glenn Beck can go to hell. I live in Texas.
He called her unpolicook. Now he's trashing Debra Medina. So, no, I don't care for him. I think he's a wolf in sheep's clothing. I think he's a snake in the grass. He's a part of the establishment.
I was talking with a reporter on the way up here today, and she said, you know, Texas is better off than other states. And I said, I'm so sick of hearing that. That may be true. But we have tripled our debt in this state under Governor Perry's leadership. We had $12 billion of debt when he took office. We have $31 billion of debt today. We have a constitutional debt limit ceiling in this state. We have exhausted 85% of our constitutional debt limit. We are at a 20-year high, 25-year high unemployment rate in our state. Our tax burden has grown. We have the 47th worst public education system in the country. We've never boasted about mediocrity.
There's a group of us in Abilene, we call ourselves Doors for Debra, and every Saturday morning we pass out literature to about 500 to 700 voters every Saturday, going to their homes and knocking on doors.
Talk to your community. Talk to your friends and your neighbors. Wear a Medina button because it opens up conversation. I never realized how powerful a little button is. When I walk into a bank, when I walk into the grocery store, when I walk anywhere, people ask me about Debra Medina. They say, oh, I've heard of her. One woman, a cashier, when I was checking out at a store, said, you know, I heard Debra Medina was really good in the interviews, and so I told her she was. And I told her where to go online to listen to the interviews and the debates that she had missed. And so if you just wear a button, this is where I wear my t-shirt a lot, people will come to me easily. I don't have to go to them. They'll come to me with interest. Because as I said, people are really tired of the choices. They don't want Perry and they don't want Hutchinson. They feel like that's the lesser of the two evils, and they don't know that there's a better solution.
You dig in, we win, and we will dream again in Texas. Thank you very much.